There's something I want to ask you before we go anywhere else today. What are you carrying right now that you've been carrying for a long time? Something that, if you're honest, you're not even sure it's yours to carry anymore. I'm not talking about responsibility. I'm talking about weight. The kind that doesn't have a name exactly, but you feel it when you wake up in the morning before the day even starts. I carried weight like that for years. I want to talk about that today. My name's Ray. I'm 77 years old. I'm a pastor, a beekeeper, a grandfather, and about 9 months ago, I started learning how to build something online. Which, at my age, if you'd told me I'd be doing that, I'd have said you had the wrong man. But before I get to any of that, I want to talk about something I think holds more people back than almost anything else I've seen in 50 years of pastoral work. It's the weight people carry, not circumstances, not lack of resources, not bad luck. Weight. The weight of old failures, decisions that went wrong and never fully got resolved inside, relationships that broke and left something behind, seasons that were supposed to go differently and didn't, words somebody said to you a long time ago that you've been hearing on repeat ever since. I've sat across from people more than I can count, in my office, in hospital rooms, at kitchen tables, in parking lots after a service, people who were carrying things they were so heavy they couldn't move forward. Not because they didn't want to, not because they weren't capable, but because every time they tried to step into something new, the weight of everything old came with them. I know that feeling personally. I'm not speaking from the outside of it. Let me tell you about something I learned doing construction work. I spent years doing hard physical labor, pouring concrete, moving houses, and I mean that literally. We'd move entire structures from one foundation to another. Work that used your body completely and didn't leave much room for anything else. One thing you learn fast in that kind of work is there's a right way to carry things and a wrong way. If you carry a heavy load wrong, wrong posture, wrong distribution, gripping too tight for too long, you don't just get tired, you get hurt. The damage is cumulative. You don't notice it some days, but it adds up. And eventually your body starts breaking down in ways that have nothing to do with today's work. It's the accumulation of everything you carried wrong for years. I think we do the same thing emotionally and spiritually. We pick up weight that we were never designed to carry. We carry it with bad posture, meaning we carry it alone, in secret, gripping it tight because we don't know how to put it down. And over the years, it does damage. Not always visible damage, but real damage. It shows up as heaviness that you can't explain, as resistance when you try to start something new, as a quiet belief that you probably don't deserve for things to go well because of all the things you've accumulated. Here's what I want to say about that, and I want to say it plainly. Most of what people carry, they were never supposed to carry it. The guilt over things that were done to you, not by you, you were not supposed to carry that. Somebody else's bad words that took root and became your inner voice, you were not supposed to carry that. The shame from a season you'd handle differently now if you could go back, you're not supposed to carry that forever. And here's the thing about the cross, because I can't talk about this without going here. The cross was not a symbol, it was a transaction. Something heavy was put on it so that you wouldn't have to keep carrying it. That's not poetry, that's the whole point. Now, I know some of you watching this aren't coming from a faith background, and I'm not going to push anything on you, but I will say this regardless of where you are. What you carry shapes what you build, every single time. You cannot build something new while dragging everything old behind you. At some point, you have to put some of it down. I'm 9 months into building something online, and I'll tell you, one of the things that surprised me about this journey is how much of it is internal work, not just external work. Learning a skill is part of it, but showing up consistently, believing it can work, not quitting when it's slow, and all of that is downstream of what you believe about yourself. And what you believe about yourself is shaped heavily by what you've been carrying. So before I talk about any strategy or system or program, I always want to start here because it's where I had to start. What are you carrying that you were never supposed to carry? That's a rhetorical question. That's worth sitting with today. I've been in ministry a long time, and the thing I've observed about people who actually move forward, who build things, who change things, who become the kind of person they wanted to be, it's almost never about talent or timing or the right opportunity. It's almost always about what they were willing to put down. The people who build steady, real, lasting things are people who travel light. Not because nothing hard ever happened to them, but because they learned, sometimes slowly, sometimes painfully, how to stop carrying what wasn't theirs to carry. That's available to you. I believe that completely. If today felt like something, if some of this landed in a place you weren't expecting, I'd encourage you to just sit with it for a bit. Don't rush past it. And if you're at a place where you're also trying to figure out what to build next in terms of income, in terms of the second chapter, whatever that looks like for you, I have a link in the description to the community I started. It's free, it's quiet, and it's full of people who are figuring things out honestly, without a lot of hype. Take a look when you're ready. There's no pressure. I'll be back Wednesday. Thanks for saving a few minutes with me today.